This video is a travel guide. All the places shown are real and possible to visit. Check the video description for a map. 18 plus.
Perfume.
On a short trip to Venice, a suitcase would be a bother. 100 bridges in the city, and a lot of them with stairs. It's much more comfortable to walk around light. Welcome to Marco Polo Airport. Marco Polo himself was also from Venice. Can you believe it? There's also Treviso Airport, which is smaller and farther away and mostly served by low-cost carriers. But Marco Polo Airport is not too big either. There's only one terminal, so it's hard to get lost.
€2, grazie.
There are several travel options from the airport: taxi, water taxi, bus, or water bus. There are no trains yet. The heart of Venice can only be reached by water. Land transport will not go farther than Piazzale Roma. The history of Venice begins in the early Middle Ages, when barbarians forced Venetians to escape to the islands of the lagoon. Here, right on the water on such wooden piles, the refugees built a city, and they turned the city into a powerful, prosperous maritime state that controlled key sea lanes and set the tone in trade, art, and lifestyle for over 1,000 years.
I know that perfume.
Every day, about 100,000 tourists step onto Venetian paving stones. There are already half as many locals. Quest selected, try the most authentic Venetian spritz. Gelateria Nico is over 80 years old. Here, they still serve gelato made according to old recipes, and of course, the legendary spritz. Aperol Spritz is a Venetian cocktail made from Prosecco, bitter, and soda.
Hello! Did you want to taste an authentic Venetian spritz? This is a super Venetian spritz, just what you wanted.
Select Spritz uses the domestic Select bitter and is more popular among locals. Quest selected, stay in a spectacular place. Some hotels here are so popular that they aren't even listed on Booking.com and can only be booked directly through the hotel's website. Il Palazzo Experimental is a Michelin-listed design hotel created by Dorothy Melkson's Bureau in the Spirit of Modern Art Deco. Each room of the hotel is unique.
Thank you very much. And this is your key, 302. We have an hotel, we have also the restaurant on my right, and also a cocktail club, which is just behind the door. This is the Ognissanti channel, and it also gives the names to some of our rooms. So this is our first floor. From here you can have both a canal view, so you can see the Giudecca Canal and the Giudecca Island, while on the other side you have a view on the rooftops of Venice and our garden. your room 302, our Dorsoduro suite.
Quest selected. Get some ink.
Hello, do you know where I could get some ink?
Ink? If you want, I have some ink. We do some squid ink pasta, the best. Please come inside.
Squid ink?
Our menu and your water. If you want, instead to look at the menu, if you trust me, I make you try something very, very nice for today, something special. I start working for you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, this is the Custozza. It's a fantastic local wine, very dry, smooth, with the seafood we were serving. Is a perfect match. Fantastic. Sir, enjoy. Sure. Here we go, sir. Here you have our local appetizer. Spider crab, king prawns, belly octopus, cuttlefish, mantis shrimps, sardines, codfish with a polenta, anchovies. Keep the anchovies at the end, they've got the strongest flavor. Buon appetito!
Delicious!
And here we have your pasta.
Cuttlefish ink has been used for centuries for a variety of purposes, including painting, writing, and medicine. In the kitchen, it is a popular ingredient in Venetian pasta.
Another dish?
Fritto misto, sì. This is a plate eaten by Venetian in the 18th century. Actually has a street food, so they eat on the way. Now you can't find any more this kind of shop, but you can still find a fresh deep fried seafood on the restaurant, so I hope you enjoy. You don't have fork and knives, because this is to eat with your hands. Signore, il tiramisù. Maybe a coffee with it? But no cappuccino, never cappuccino at this time, too late.
Tiramisu translates literally as cheer me up. Tiramisu was invented in Treviso, 30 kilometers from here.
And to finish your dinner, your lunch, fantastic espresso. And after espresso, grappa. It will help you to digest.
Check, please.
If you are served at a table, the bill will include a tablecloth fee, coperto. It is calculated per person and ranges from 1 to 5 euros. Quest selected, rise above the city. Basilica di Santa Maria della Salute. Tourists don't know that there is a small observation deck hidden in the dome of the Church of the Santa Maria della Salute. Those who know stop 150 steps up. Church of San Giorgio Maggiore. This is the bell tower of the cathedral, which is located on the island of the same name. An elevator will take you to the 60th meter of the bell tower. Fondaco dei Tedeschi. The best place to watch the Grand Canal is from the roof of the palace and shopping center near the Rialto Bridge. The visit is free, but it must be booked in advance. St. Mark's Campanile, the most popular observation tower in the city. From here, from a height of 99 meters, Galileo himself observed the moon while presenting his telescope to the Doge's council. The Venice Art Biennale and the Venice Architecture Biennale Quest unavailable. Take place from May to November. The venues are closed the rest of the time. Alternate quest. Pay a visit to the 14 dead dogs.
May I ask you one question? Where can I find 14 dead dogs?
Dead dogs? No. Dead dogs. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
What is it? 14 dead dogs.
I don't know. 40 dead dogs. I don't know, sorry.
I don't know, sorry.
Alla Guggenheim.
Si trovano alla Peggy Guggenheim Collection.
Guggenheim.
Peggy Guggenheim Collection. Once a Venetian residence, now it stands as a landmark, showcasing an unparalleled collection of modern and contemporary art that spans from Impressionism to abstract expressionism. Peggy Guggenheim is one of the most important women in contemporary art. Her biography in itself, a work of art. Peggy Guggenheim said her main passion was work. Another was Lhasa dogs. Peggy had 14 of them. Peggy's ashes were buried in the garden of her house together with her beloved pets. In the museum, you can see works by Pablo Picasso, René Magritte, Jackson Pollock, Joan Miro, Mark Rothko, Alberto Giacometti, and Marcel Duchamp. Quest selected. Take a ride on the Grand Canal by Vaporetto. Venice's most famous waterway, the Grand Canal, runs through the entire city. By the palaces on its banks, you can trace the history of the Republic from the beginning of the first millennium to the present day. Quest selected. Dive into Venice from gondola perspective.
Together, we gathered a team of friends and divers and to create a group of volunteers to clean up the canals.
Stefano Vio, head of the Volunteer Divers Association in Venice. Alessandro Sufi, gondolier, diver, technical director of the Volunteer Divers Association in Venice.
Di continuare il nostro progetto finché siamo arrivati.
So far, we have conducted 22 dives and recovered about 17,000 kilograms of debris, including 1.6 thousand tires.
Di cui 1600 copertoni.
Well, swimming is prohibited. It's prohibited just like fishing is prohibited. And when we were little, around 10 years old, our entertainment was to go swimming in the canals. We waited for high tide so that the water was clean. We would go swimming in the canals and dive from the bridges. It was fun.
Era un divertimento. Per cui sono 42
So far, I've been doing this job for 42 years, and it used to be completely different. People who came here didn't just stay for half a day, not for 2 hours, but they stayed for at least 4 to 5 days because they were on a cultural visit. Today, the city can handle a very high number of visitors, and unfortunately, as a result, the amount of trash clearly increases. If you think about everyone eating a sandwich and the paper from that sandwich bag being thrown in a bin, imagine the enormous amount of garbage.
Ecco. Questo nostro progetto è nato tra me e Stefano.
Our project was started by Stefano and me. We are childhood friends, and we share a passion for scuba diving. Only he had taken one path and I took another. For the club on San Marco, I have been an instructor for many years, so talking about it, we said, my goodness, how many tires must be in the canals since they are used as boat fenders? And so, we thought, why not do an exploratory dive in the canals? We started with the canal we are currently navigating, starting from the beginning and going all the way to the little bridge. In this stretch alone, we collected a whopping 10 tons of various materials, including an engine, a bidet, pipes, stands for acqua alta, endless tires, etc.
Pneumatici a non finire. Ok. Oi! Oi!
This is the horn. And then these sounds are auditory warnings where I have to signal my presence because otherwise, it's like an intersection. I have to let others know. And if there's another boat on the other side, they understand that I'm a rowing boat.
Io sono un'imbarcazione a remi. Io ho visto persone che salgono in gondola.
I've seen people getting on a gondola and not looking at this open-air museum at all, but staring at their phones instead. At the end of the ride, I wonder, what have they seen of Venice? That's something that can be annoying, because if you go on a gondola to look at your phone, you might as well stay home. It won't change anything. In Venice, in my opinion, the first thing to do is take off your watch and put it in your pocket. Venice has completely different rhythms from where we come from. We can't compare the city we come from to Venice, first of all. Secondly, Venice is an open-air museum. Wherever you turn, there's a piece of history. Venice has a millennia-old history, so it's interesting to understand what we're talking about, what we're seeing. For example, this is a palace older than the Grand Canal. It dates back to 1180. It belonged to a great navigator, and now it's become a hotel and a restaurant.
Era di un grande navigatore. Adesso è diventato un albergo e un ristorante. Però ci sono tantissime cose qui.
However, there are many things here that speak of Venice. Of course, it's the people who make Venice special because they are the ones who believe in it, who want to stay here at all costs. This is a special city, and so are the people who believe in it. In our small way, we all try to do something for Venice.
Come la gente che ci crede, anche noi nel nostro piccolo cerchiamo di fare qualcosa per Venezia. You must try the Venetian cicchetti and the ombra. Ombra means a glass of wine, okay? But there are a lot of typical places, for to do this.
Quest selected, have dinner in a real Venetian restaurant. A few years ago, a local tourist eatery charged hapless Japanese students 1,100 euros for one dorado and 3 over-dried steaks. Be careful. Here are some tips from Venetian for an authentic dining experience. Food in Venice is not more expensive than in other tourist cities. Avoid restaurants with colorful advertisements. There should be no pictures of dishes on the menu. Make sure dishes have a fixed cost. And stay away from popular touristic paths.
Hello, I'm Elvis, one of the owner of the Trattoria da Remigio. Welcome.
I would like a Granciola alla Veneziana.
You have tried the Select Spritz?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like I prepare for you a Campari Spritz? It's very nice.
Yes, please.
I come.
The owners of Trattoria da Remigio annually honor the champions of the most important local sporting event, the Venice Historic Regatta.
Your Campari Spritz, sir. Here we are, sir. La Granciola.
Granciola alla Veneziana, a traditional dish of giant spider crab.
Could I get something strong to drink?
Would you like to have a grappa?
Yes, please.
This is a nice grappa from Friuli, aged in cherry wood.
Spider crabs are scary.
Some more grappa, sir?
Yeah, I think I will need it. Well...
Sorry, sir. We usually don't do it like this.
Oh, really?
Maybe it's better.
Thank you.
Scary, but tasty.
Check, please.
I prepared the check for you. And here we are, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Quest selected, discover Venice through its cocktails.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it possible to try Hemingway's favorite cocktail here?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I just have a martini dry, a Montgomery, a bloody bullshot. But I think we have the evening is early. We have to enjoy. So why don't you follow me to another place? Some secret corners of Venice. What do you think?
Sure.
Let's go.
Let's
there.
go.
Yeah, now we have to see life in other places. Come with me.
Wow, sorry. Are you Francesco from the BBC?
Yeah, everyone has his cross. You never know what happened in his life,
This is a moment most Italian drivers fear. A Venetian get into a car.
Francesco da Mosto, a historian, architect, television presenter, and count.
Lost in Venice, and now he's open to the Grand Canal again. And I take you now to a fantastic place. Buonasera. Would you like now to try the favorite cocktail by Hemingway?
Yes, sure.
The Montgomery one. Is something. What do you think?
Very,
Is the right moment to get it?
I think yes.
Yeah, let's have two Montgomery.
Let's try Montgomery.
Because it's quite curious, the story of this thing. Hemingway arrived to the Harris Bar, to Venice, and he said, the best cocktail is not the one when you take some parts of vermouth and some parts of gin, but you need to have 15 parts of gin and 1 of vermouth, just a little taste. Oh, grazie. Cin, cin cin, alla salute come si dice a Venezia. How we say in Venice. Not bad, It's something that, as yesterday, is very strong. Have it all before, because after we have to drink another one, I think. So go fast with that. I go fast with this one. And then I think could be nice to have a Bellini.
Another traditional Venetian,
yes,
the same creation for the same bar, the Bellini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have one Bellini. It's quite interesting because Giuseppe Cipriani at the Harris Bar started in a particular way. There was a guy that came to Venice with his grandmother. And from one moment to the other one, the grandmother disappeared. And this American young guy was completely alone. And so he didn't know what to do. And there was this Giuseppe Cipriani that was working in a bar that said, okay, I give you 10,000 lire to survive and to go back home. And this American didn't forget him. And when he came back with a lot of money. He gave the money to Giuseppe Cipriani, and he had the chance to start his own bar where people started to come from Hemingway to Orson Welles to Gary Cooper. Everyone was coming there. Until today is coming this thing. And it's quite interesting because there is a lot of things that Cipriani invented in that bar. One of these is the carpaccio, that is a particular meat with the red color in the carpaccio paintings. But the most important is the Bellini that we are going to drink now, that remembers him, the toga of a monk that was completely orange color. And I will show you tomorrow. It's really, really good. And so was the inspiration from the painter and the color that they were used in all the Venetian art. That is the particularity. It's quite interesting how much Venetians are still connected to their art. It is something that is unforgettable because this is a town that in a certain way is stopped in time. Cheers again. How many will we have? So, cheers again, the fantastic, and to the Bellini painter. And forget the drink. Cheers. Avrebbe qualcosa di veneziano.
Let's remodernize the tradition with my creation.
Oh, how nice.
So, we had all the stir cocktail. Let's make one with the shaker. from Sant'Erasmo. It's Amaro Veneziano, so make with vegetables. Baccalà mantecato.
Ah, fantastico! So I have the little ones. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Cheers again. Huh? Have a good taste of the lagoon of Venice. Oh, it's nice. What is the name?
The name, so Venetian tradition of Cicchetti, and name it Baccaro.
Works. It works.
Thank you.
So let's go now for a Venetian night. When I was young, the embankment was there. And then they had to build this because Venice is sinking. So look, nearly half a meter. You see, that is the osteria of the Assassini. Come andiamo? Come stai?
Bene, te?
Bene.
Ciao, bene, grazie.
Francesco. So this is written Assassini, that is coming from the word hashish. Because the Ottomans, before going to fight, they were using hashish to be stronger. So let's have something strong and let's have the nice evening. Come. Oh, fantastica. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One
This
for
is
you,
the
one for me.
Tintoretto.
What is it exactly?
It's made with Prosecco wine and fresh pomegranate juice.
Jeez, we are always speaking about painters in Venice, you know, always. And can I introduce to my friend Girolamo?
Hi.
Here is Girolamo.
Hi,
And
Girolamo.
And Girolamo is one of the eldest names in Venice. Their family are here for more than 1,000 years.
Emilia Marcello.
Is more than 1,000 years in Venice. Salute. Cheers.
Cheers.
Buonissimo, eh? Like my name, Da Mosto, most. Most is the part of the grape you make the wine. So I'm completely attached to that. The tradition of wine in Venice and in all the Veneto is very strong. And here is the last drop. Come with me and have a put here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Sorry, that was my last drop. I went home. See you tomorrow on the Alto Market. You should see it.
I?
Choose your weapon.
Sir, you lost your wallet.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good
Where
evening,
is Palazzo Experimental?
Your hotel is just 200 meters. Just after the corner and to go to the left. 200 meters. Have a good night, sir.
Venice is one of the safest cities in Europe. The most common crime in the city is counterfeiting designer handbags and belts. It is safe to walk around day and night.
Welcome back, sir.
Quest selected. Meet the sunrise at Punta della Dogana.
Morning, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
The Punto della Dogana, literally Customs Point, is a triangular-shaped promontory that separates the Grand Canal from the Giudecca Canal. It was once a customs house, but is now the center of contemporary art of the Pinault collection and the best place to greet the sunrise.
We can't say for sure whether you'll trip and drown on the quayside in Venice, but we can't say you won't either. Minimali Insurance Company.
Quest selected. Feel the vibe of Rialto Market.
Hello, my friend. How are you? Great to see you. How was your night? Eh? Too many Montgomery, eh? But that's life, what you can do. If you have to try the things you want. But here, everything became a bar, yeah? Even this one, you see, look. This is the Banco Giro. That was the first bank in the world, because this was the financial center of Venice. when gold was passing here from east, west, north, south, everything. Let's have a look. Come on, come with me. That was the house of my family, you see there. Quite ancient, until some years ago was crumbling.
Cara Mosto, the oldest building on the Grand Canal. It was built in the 13th century. Since 1266, the palace belonged to the Da Mosto family, among whose representatives were the famous explorer, traveler, and regrettably slave trader, Alvise da Cara Mosto.
But now it became another hotel. Venice is evolving in different directions. What can you do? And here, the officers of Venice, they were coming here, they were coming up here, and they were reading the sentences of death, of cutting a hand, or cutting in a lot of parts. So it depends. For things, Venice was very strict. But we were nearly, if you were a noble, if you were not a noble, the law was quite equal for everyone. And maybe for that Venice survived as a republic for so long. The Alto Market, where there is the fish market and the vegetable market. But the fish is something so important for us. Now we go to a friend that is a fisherman, but don't try anything strange. Oh, here is Rino. Oh, eccolo. Come stai? Mangiamo insieme, cosa ti dice? He's showing us a particular kind of crab that they just got it in near Caule on the northern part of the Lagoon of Venice. Se puoi, guarda qua.
Look here. Here they are. Are they still alive?
Yes, they are. You will need a napkin.
You want to try one?
It is alive.
And oh la la.
Holy.
Caspita.
If it gets you, it's gonna be hurt.
It won't just hurt you, it'll cut something off.
And this one is from Caorle?
Yes, from Caorle. This is a female.
Wow. This is quite big, eh? Be careful that it can cut, yeah.
Questo è un piatto che oggi
Oh.
a Venezia Canocce.
Ganache, Manish shrimps, fantastic. They turn purple when you cook them.
Yes.
They're all alive. Fantastico, Dino.
Grazie.
Come faccio?
Scusa, ti do la carta.
Che gentile che sei. Grazie.
Grazie Francesco. Fai venire ai Grand August.
Ci divertiamo sempre noi. Grazie, buona giornata. Do you want to use for your hands, eh?
Thanks, I really need it.
Se c'è manca Nino, è scritto. Meraviglio, grazie, sai.
Grazie a te, grazie a voi.
E ci vediamo a Burano.
See you in Burano.
With pleasure.
You see how much? Tuna, salmon. And here there are fantastic octopus, you see? That you can do. This is all clams, different kind. The clams, and this is, we call cozze. These are really good when you make them fried on the pine. They're fantastic. And then the important thing is always to eat everything. You eat first all the clams, and then there is the liquid that comes out from them that is so good. And you put the bread on it, so you save everything. And this is from Burano. Burano is an island that is the northern side of the Lagoon of Venice, and he lives in Burano. I have a hut of fishermen around that place. I love to go there. It seems to be far away from the world. It's great, really. That is very old and is very important because this plaque is put it here. This is the minimum measures of the fish that you can catch. Let's see if they have it. Oh yes. You see, this is the artichoke. In this moment, these are the best. We call them castraure. It's the moment in which they just start to grow, And if you cut them and you eat them, then in the same season you will have another one that is coming. So you have double artichokes from the same plant. And normally everywhere, when they use all this bit, they throw away the part that is there. And instead here you see, you gain everything. You keep always everything. You try always to spare and to use everything. If Venice was sieged, they have to survive. I think we didn't have fresh water, so every place here needed water from the rain, and sometimes they were coming with the boats full of the fresh water to drink. If not, we didn't have any fresh water. Can you imagine a civilization without water? And they had to survive. For that you see wells everywhere. Now everyone is thinking about how can Venice survive being built on mud? Because all these houses, they are built on mud. So the technique was this. They were putting all poles of wood inside the mud. But it is very important that the poles stay under the mud and under the water. If they stay inside the mud, they become stronger and stronger, more the concrete. If you use the concrete, it's less resistant than an old pole inside the mud, because it will calcificate and it will, and more time pass and more stronger it will be.
Bellissimo, fortissimo, peace and love. Questo Natale sarà, sarà. Bellissimo, fortissimo, peace and love. Questo Natale sarà, sarà. We got love here in Venezia. Venezia, peace and love we found. Peace.
Hello, my friend. Where are you from?
From Africa, Cameroon.
Wow, Cameroon? Wonderful.
Buona giornata, sai.
Buon Natale.
Anche a te.
Have a good day. Happy holidays. Best wishes.
Ciao, bella canzone, sai.
Quest selected. Enjoy true Venetian coffee.
To get a coffee here at Caffè del Doge is really good. Buongiorno.
Shall I make it a little stronger or more delicate? Since it's morning, a bit stronger perhaps to wake up.
Yeah, let's do one that hits hard. Where does it come from?
It's a blend, 50% Arabica and 50% Robusta. The Arabica is from Brazil and the Robusta is from India.
Wow, what an exceptional mix.
Meraviglia. Fantastico. And how long are you staying in Venice?
For 2 days. It's a short trip.
3 days? Yeah, just to have a flavor, a smell of it.
Café del Doge is a non-touristy place where coffee beans are roasted in a special way, which has been kept secret for over 70 years. And yes, it was in fact Venice that introduced coffee drinking to Europe. Quest selected. Meet the masterpieces of the Renaissance in churches.
So now we enter again in little roads. I love to I love to be in the places where there is no one. Let's go this way. There is one here. This is all. Nothing is straight in Venice, but the door follows the stones. You see that it's completely without X. But Venice is like this. Everything is moving. Because some parts of the land is strong, some kind of the land is soft. So everything moves in different ways. I think that the Republic of Venice resisted so much time, more than 1,000 years, because it was like a big family. There was always in front of everything the idea of the Republic. It was not an absolute power, but the Doge was elected. And so at the beginning we're all equals. And everyone, even if they were nobles, when they were 13 years old, they had to live on the galère and going around all the Mediterranean and making market. Sometimes they had to fight. If you come here, you see Ponte delle Tette, Bridge of the Teats, because the women were putting themselves, showing themselves, and so the people were going in, just to make very clear the situation. But there were a period in which the Republic admitted it as a rule. First, I want to show you one of the narrowest roads of Venice. Yeah, so we can pass in one person, not more than that. Look. And look over. There was a period when there were the Austrians that you had to pay taxes in relation of how many windows open you had. So many of them have been closed, so you were paying less taxes. Today is very quiet. We had arrived to the Church of Fari, Santa Maria Gloriosa dei Fari. So now we are going where I was going when I was 5 years old, and for me it was big. Come in. At the center you see the painter, the Titian, that was so important for Venice, because he was making religious things, but also for nobles, and he was painting also prostitutes. He managed to get the emotion from the people, and on the top of it you can see is the Assunta. Then you find it far away there. And if we go nearby to the altar, we will see the face of God. That is nearly an impressionist work of art. Now he's not allowed to go on the chorus, but when I was young, you can sit here and hide yourself and disappear in this magic world. With a Turk organ on the side, and it's fantastic when they make the music. The echo goes even outside of the church. And I have to say, I'm religious, but not too much. But when there are those things, it brings you some energy. And I have to say it's true. But come from here. I think it's fantastic. We have downstairs the humans. On the top there is God. And if you look at the face of God, it seems a little sad. It's like, what is happening down there? But the magic is the Madonna in between. And the woman is the importance of the woman, that they get the connection between the humans and the divine. And I think this is what really gives the strength. And you feel in the colors, every face has an emotion. Titian was a pupil of two painters called Giovanni and Gentile Bellini, and I want to show you their work. Giovanni Bellini, that is, these paintings are done from him. And it's quite interesting because was not only the power. The Venetian loves so much art, but they understood that the power of art was so important. In fact, when there was that the Ottomans conquered Constantinople, the Venetians wanted to maintain the market with Constantinople because there were all the spice route. So instead of sending a diplomat or a soldier to speak to the Sultan, they sent the brother Gentile Bellini to make the painting of the Sultan. So they became friends again, and the market could go on. But painting was something that made Venice so famous around all Europe. And everyone that wanted a painting, they were going to Titian to have them. And so he made a lot of money. He had piles of gold coins and piles of paintings to give to the nobles. And these are all relics of saints. So it's quite interesting. Also, there was a market of relics. I really love the structure of the Gothic churches because it's all an equilibrium of strength. And if you look at the stone on the middle, where there are the four red lines, all the forces, all the strength of the pillars that comes out, they go on that central stone. If you take out that stone, everything will fall down. So that stone is the pietra di volta, the vault stone. And one of my connection with the ancestors is this guy that is in that tomb there, and is called Pasqualigo, and he was captain of the sea, the Adriatic part. He was controlling all the Adriatic Sea. And here, there are all the tombs of the people. More you were paying, and more you were near the altar, because there were no cemetery. So they were putting you or in the church or in the square outside the church. It's only with Napoleon that they made an island with a cemetery. The important thing is you have on all the corners here, and so you could save the rainwater, filter with the sand was getting that particular, was not only fresh water, and then you can get it from these ones. And Venice is full of them. If you look, every square has a place where to spare water, and I think it's something that we have to think about in our time. This is the church of San Pantalone. He was a doctor during the Roman time, and he became Christian, and so the Romans killed him. So was a martyr, but he was saving so many people. This one is incredible because it's one of the biggest paintings in the world. It's nearly 500 square meters. And is divided in 77 pieces. There is a legend that the author, that is called Antonio Fiumani, died falling down when he was painting, but that is just a legend. He survived more than that. He's the person in charge of the San Pantalone.
So, one of the most interesting features of this church is that it is, so to say, more crowded. It is splendid. I think I counted 60 heads here, and that's a masterpiece.
60 people around, and the two schools. One is French and one is Venetian. So you can understand the different two styles. Che qui suonavano la chitarra all'epoca dei Beatles, e mia madre non mi permetteva di venire because there was a time in which church, in the period of Beatles, they started to play the chorus with the guitar like Beatles, and I remember my mother saying, "No, you cannot go there. They are strange." That is funny. I love this kind of light that comes in. It's like something divine in a certain way. Anyway, about the architecture, you see, that is all arches that are perfectly round. So we are in the Baroque time after Renaissance. It's not anymore the Gothic like this with a point, but it's the arch like in the Roman time. For that is called the Renaissance. Let's go to have another one. Now they were thinking or to restore it or to do something because the water is going always higher. So at the beginning you could see all the figure of the girl, but now it's disappearing.
Oh.
And so they don't know exactly what to do, but it's very strong. It's very strong. And then he's saving the part that is the heart of the artichoke. Take away that, and this is the best part of the artichoke. You boiled it, and they are so tender and so good.
Quest selected Cicchetti.
This is one of our paradise of Cicchetti. This is particular of this period of the year, and this is the zampone or cotechino that is from the pork. And this is really, really good with senape, and it's fantastic. So I think that in this moment we have to survive, and let's go in to try something. What do you think? Let's go. Permesso. Buongiorno.
Eccoci qua,
Oh là là.
Questa è utia.
This is zutia. It's made in the traditional way, with spontaneous fermentation in the bottle, without sugar. It has a crown cap instead of a cork, as it helps preserving the wine's yeasts. This Prosecco is just like the Prosecco that my grandfather used to make.
It's the Prosecco of the grandfather, like the old times. Buonissimo, buonissimo. It's really good. Eh?
This is a selection of our main Cicchetti. These are the classics, the must-haves, the ones we make every day.
Because the fishermen were using the onions because it was keeping the food good. So they were taking out when they were going to fish outside in the sea.
Sì, e si usava la sarda o il gambero. Qui
So
c'è
they were
anche-
using sardines and shrimps.
Sì, con i pinoli e l'uvetta che non si vedono
Yeah.
ma ci sono.
Peanuts and little raisins.
Questo invece è il nostro baccalà mantecato.
And this here is our bacala mantecato, which has no garlic, no cream, no milk. It's just cod.
Fantastico.
E questi sono i nostri tre che ci sono sempre presenti insieme al moscardino alla busara.
This is the little octopus.
È una lattuga.
This is cooked lettuce with some leek, and to top it off, crispy onion.
Questa invece è una composta di
This is a salmon
Salmone.
mousse on a bed of onion and orange, plain vesti zucchini, salmon, and poppy seeds.
salmone e papavero.
My favorites besides fish are the ones with cheese.
Del pesce, ma insomma, questo è un formaggio dolce con
It's a sweet cheese
Fresh
with on top
fragole all'aceto balsamico
wow,
e dei petali di
strawberry
fiordaliso.
with balsamic vinegar.
Una cacciotta
And then there's alpine cacciota with grappa.
Grazie un sacco, sai.
grazie a voi.
Grazie. Cici.
Salute.
Sì. These things, these are funny. Why there are these things? Not because you have, but because people were making pissing here on the corner. So there was a terrible smell. If they put it something like this, if you do it, it was coming on your foot. So you could not do it. And the same there. Well, if you do it, it comes against you. That's funny.
Quest selected Touch a Medieval Skyscraper. The Venetian Ghetto, a Jewish quarter in Venice that was established in 1516.
Because there was a moment in which from all the other countries, they were pushing away the people. They didn't want them. And Venice in that moment was losing the market from the east of the spices, so they needed money. So they thought, Jewish can lend money, so let's find a place for them to stay in Venice. And this is started the ghetto. Here, They were all people working iron for making cannons for the Republic of Serenissima. And so there was a guy who said, I have some properties there. And to make iron in Venetian is getto. And so this word moved and became international. If you look now here, it's incredible. You cannot find houses like this in Venice because they have to stay inside. That was the borderline. And I show you there were the gates where they were closing them in the night because the Jewish has to go out with a yellow hat and also a scarf, yellow, sometimes also a star, so that the people knew that they were from the ghetto. And here, you can still see the signs of the gate that was closed in the night. Skyscrapers of Venice, they're called like this, because they have to gain much more space as they could. So all the windows are very low, ceilings low. It was to pack more people all together. But I think, is still something quite, that from a side they give an idea of restriction, like a prison. But sometimes, like in Verona, in other towns, they were happy to have a safe place for them. It's a prison, but I'm safe there. So there is the 2 points of view that works, and it worked. But then from all over Europe they were coming, even because there were problems with the Inquisition, the Pope, they didn't want them around. And Venice was always with Ottoman, Jewish. It was a big mix of people here in Venice. And I think it was a great thing.
Quest selected to look in a medieval palazzo.
So around the 14th century, one of my family, we are nearby my old house, was very friend with another noble. And they were all going, they were going together around the world. And one is Marin Faliero, that was living here. And he became Doge. And this, my ancestor, voted for him to become a Doge. But then he tried to make a coup d'etat. He wanted to get the absolute power. And so they got him. And my ancestor, that before voted to elect him, voted to chop his head. And the funny thing is that here, they had, this was Faliero house, and that is the Damosto house. And they had this courtyard in common. So a legend say, this is the courtyard of the fights. Let's see. So this is the house where my family started. And I have to say also, first thing, I think that they did a good restoration because normally they make new things. Here you have the atmosphere of how it was at the beginning, around the 13th century. There was this passage where all the merchandise were going to the boat, and this is maintaining the same situation. On the top, they were living, they were keeping all the merchandise on the side, like you see, the same atmosphere that there was that time. So this was the house of my family. They moved here around the 1000. It had been in my house something like 400 years. And so after became a hotel that was called the White Lion. It was the most important hotel of the town. Until in the Canaletto paintings you can find them. And I think it's still maintaining the same atmosphere of the place that it was before. And what I hope that Venice is going to keep and maintaining the atmosphere. Nevertheless, the tourism is moving in more and more. An important thing, I think, more we maintain the contact between the past and the present, and more chance our humanity can go on. Also because the most important thing for Venice was the relationship of the city with the lagoon. So an equilibrium between humanity and nature. And if you maintain that, then we can go on. All Venice, you can see the water is coming up and down all the time, and every year is higher. But it's not only a problem of Venice. If I could save the world and not Venice, I would save the world. Nevertheless, it's my town. But this situation like this is everywhere. So there is, like my wife saying, if we can save Venice, we can save the world. So let's try do it. We have a chance.
You did it. See you on the next mission.